All right, so far, thank you all that's made it to this point for this full album reaction with a special guest, Mikey G or Mikey Savage, Savage Hands out of Southern Maryland. I do appreciate all the time you've given the channel. Yeah, do you have anything else you want to say?
No, thanks for having me, and willing to have a different insight on a reaction. I'm still a fan. Like, just because I'm in a band that's signed and I produce music in hopes that people like it and I want fans, I am still a fan of music. I still get excited for releases, and there's a lot of artists that feel the same. They might not broadcast it as much. I know me personally, like, I like to lift all of my fellow peers up, whether they're a friend or not, and I post about music, newer music. I post about it. I show it off in my daily routines, whether I'm working out or just like chilling. It does not matter. So it's cool to do something a little different and have somebody that's usually on the other side of things like this in here to give their perspective. And I mean, I'm telling the truth. Like, if I don't like something, I'm gonna say it. But I mean, this band, a band of this caliber, it's more or less I'm different from just a fan, because I am a writer and I look at certain different things, like the last song that, we just reacted to. Like, I really dove into like harmonies and things like that. That's why I love that song so much, because I know how much time goes into that, and like, I respect.
Well, like, you think that probably took them a couple of days just to get that track down. Probably.
Yeah, I mean, like, they probably have had the idea of like, let's get all three of our singers on this, and Danny, is that the Daniel or Daniel? Okay, so Daniel, he's a little newer to the band, and they already know of his skill set, and I haven't really heard much of him from his old band or the band that he is in or wasn't, whatever. So like, yeah, it's like it was such a surprise to me, and I'm sure they had these ideas of like, we're gonna do this song where all three of us get on, and that takes time to build something like that. I know it does for us, because we have that dynamic and we push that dynamic. People don't know that, but we do. And yeah, it's just super dope, and it's cool to have just somewhat of a different perspective. But all in all, I'm still a fan of good music, and I'll always show that off. I'll never downplay it as if like, oh yeah, well, we do the same thing. Like, I can't show that I'm a fan. Like, no, that's bullshit. Right. You gotta stay true. For sure.
And like I said, if you guys have not heard of Savage Hands before, please do check it out. I did release a video introducing Mikey, and showcasing some of Savage Hands material. Further ado, we're getting to the last track, Vendetta. Like I said, I have heard things. I know I've said it multiple times on this whole reaction, but with the name like that, it's just pushing over 3 minutes of a track. So we're gonna get right into it.
It's gonna be a banger. Last one on the track.
Yeah.
That's the way I think about it. Typically, we want to leave them. You either want to leave them hanging on so that they want more later, or you can like beat them down with something super awesome and leave them with that like satisfied feeling. Either way, it's going to be either or. I know Tuck talks about it a lot on his podcast, about albums that he loves, like leaving them on a cliffhanger. And
I don't think they're going to do it. I think
I think it's just going to beat us.
I think this might take over Tower of Pain. It might. Like I said, our thoughts, critiques will come up after the track. I'm just going to explain the Brew Choice real quick. I've had it on the channel before. It's the August Burns Red Bones. So it's their Guardians album artwork, their newest album that came out. I think it's probably like their 20th album, because I feel like they put out so much album.
Yeah, I listened to another podcast. I think it was Lead Singer Syndrome, where he was talking to that guy, and I was like, they were talking about it, how many albums they've had out. It's just like crazy, but they're at the top of the chain too. I love August Burns Red.
Yeah, and this is it's a
that can's super cool.
It is. It's a farmhouse ale with guava and pineapple. So it's got a little bite to it. I mean, it only hits a stinger at 6.4%. But of course, we got to get the matching ABR pint glass I got sent in from a subscriber. Subscriber sent this to me.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so
dude, I honestly, just based off of that can presentation, like, I just want to want to drink one. They look, I don't know, the presentation is with IPAs, like, dude, when I used to be real big into them, I just used to go in the store and try to find the coolest looking can. and
That's
just try it.
Yeah, the artwork. Well, that's kind of what my brother said when he came to music. He usually looks at the out, like when CDs were a thing.
Yeah.
You know, since all your younger folks now. When CDs were a thing, my brother would always go in the record store, or FYE, I think that's what it was called.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, all right, the way I picked out good music was based off of artwork.
Yep.
And it's never failed.
I did that a few times, like when I was just exploring this type of music. Like, you know, CDs were the only thing around back when I first started listening in like 2004 or 3. And yeah, I'd like leave when my mom was in Best Buy or Walmart or whatever, and I'd go to the CD section and I'd come back and be like, yeah, I want this record. And my mom's like, oh, well, who is it? And I'm just like, it's so-and-so. Like, you don't already know? Like, just trying to like really cover up the fact that I had no idea who they were. I just liked it for the artwork.
Right. All right, so you already know the drill. Enough of us ranting and hollering and whatnot. Let's go and get this last track, Vendetta. Remind me of Slipknot a little bit.
This is my vendetta!
What do you think about that, Sandra? You like that?
You left me out in the cold. Thought you could put me down and nobody would know. Shut down, locked down. I'm breaking everything that held me to the ground. Like a tidal wave consumes the shore. This is power. I have a thundering that you can't ignore. Louder and louder. Like a tidal wave consumes the shore. This is power. I have a thundering that you can't ignore. This is my vendetta. You can't run from the start. This is my vendetta. There's no escaping this one. This is my vendetta. I see the fear behind empty eyes. You try to leave, but I'm not blind. Birds waste away. I won't bend, but you will ride. Like a tidal wave consumes the shore. I have a thundering that you can't ignore. This is my vendetta. You can't run from the start.
Is that Kirby screaming this part?
No escaping this one. This is my vendetta. I'm where your fall begins. So welcome to the end. This is my vendetta.
Oh.
This is leading up to something big, I bet.
It's gonna drop. It's gonna drop really hard.
Gotta give him these. Oh, he had to throw that 20-second scream in there. There it is.
That's it.
I didn't know if they were gonna hit us with another bomb at the end.
No,
there.
like backbreakers.
Yeah.
25 seconds of just pure scream.
Dude, that shit's crazy. Like, I did a long scream on one of the tracks, and I was like, yeah, this ain't even nothing compared to Kirby.
Yeah.
He like set the stage with that, like, for sure.
Yeah,
Him
well,
and-
just like Warpath too.
Yeah.
On Warpath.
Wow. I loved when like he used to like prove fans wrong, like people that were like, yeah, you can't do that live, and then like
I was like,
there's
oh,
just
watch me.
yeah, there's just like a video of it, and I'm like, shit. I think I spent like an hour in the rabbit hole of watching him do that on multiple live
Right.
like videos on Warped Tour out in the heat. Like, I was like, dude, this guy's insane. Really takes care of his voice. I mean, you know,
I mean, he said the key, and I remember like years ago when he did like like it's like a basic interview. He said the key to his screams, no drinking, no smoking.
Yeah.
It's just something unique about Ryan Kirby that I'm just attached to. I'm sure just like all of you guys are. Like I said, their stage presence is out of this world. I think that's why I just fell in love with them, right away. It's because, I know you can produce such great quality like on a record, but if you can't perform it live, then what's the sense?
Yeah.
But Fit for a King, I think them live is better studio. It's one of those.
Oh
bands,
yeah.
I think so.
It's a show. Like,
Yeah.
they put on a damn show, and I think they have the best lineup that they've ever had, like, currently right now. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I love Bob, and I wish that Bob could do it all, but my man's got, I can't remember exactly. I think it's growplants.org. His plant shop that him and his wife do, and then he's got the kids, and they just had another one.
So I mean, I feel like was he going back and forth on the screams in this song?
He might be on here too.
Yeah,
there might be some 4-part layered harmonies on this. You never know, but it flows well. For show, like, Tuck brings it with theatrics, and then Kirby. It makes it to where Kirby doesn't have to be a psycho on stage,
right?
And that does well with his voice, because, like, the more you work yourself up on stage, the less breath you have in your lungs, and you're not able to carry out those longer notes or those longer screams. I experienced that. I'm a psycho on stage. I can't stop.
To be honest, I feel like we didn't really touch on Jared's drumming.
Oh, well, no, I said there was a few songs on this record, like, where I'm just like, dude, the drums sound amazing. Like, and then skill wise, like, fucking solid. Like, that guy is so sick at drums.
So I mean, there you have it. That's a full album reaction. Fit for a King, the newest album, The Path, featuring Mikey Savage from Savage Hands. Thank you guys. If you got to this point, I know this is a long video. If you got to where we are now, we appreciate all the support and the feedback. It goes a long way. And if you are new here, please do consider subscribing. Share it to everyone you know. I don't care, aunt, uncle, brother, sister. I don't care who it is. Just share it. Make breakdowns great again. Angry music for happy people, as an August Burns Red would say.
Definitely. And you guys, if I can reiterate, please subscribe to this channel. Very truthful stuff going on here. I myself haven't watched every single reaction video, but I've watched damn near a lot of them, and they're all very honest reactions. I feel like I don't think you've put up a bad song on your channel. I listen, most of the bands that you react to, I actually listen to. So it's been pleasant.
Also, another goal of mine is to shed light on smaller bands that don't get enough attention. And I was seeing and I watched different creators. Like, no offense to these creators that put out reaction videos, but I just feel like they overreact, and that's just not. I want the natural raw reaction. And I don't listen to my music. Like I said, I waited. Their Savage Hands release party, and maybe he can tell a story real quick.
It's funny. Yeah, like, he has my number. I probably would have gave him the record if he asked for it, but he never asked. So, you don't ask and you won't receive. But yeah, so when it came out, we had planned the Mully's brewery listening party. I'd never done one before, and I had no idea how it was going to go. And we showed up, and then all of a sudden I see him, and he's like, dude, I can't wait for this. I've literally been waiting all day. And the album came out, at 12 a.m. Friday morning. And I was like, you went all day without listening to this album? And he was like, yeah, dude, I'm here to like stay true and experience the listening party, because we did it the day of the album, not like the day before, which if we ever did another one, we might do that, like, little special listening party. But yeah, it was crazy. Like, and his reaction, like, he was in the crowd for a little bit, but then he just came and slid up next to us, and he was like, vibing and stuff. It was super cool. It was definitely neat.
Yeah, I don't know how I went all day without listening to that. It killed me.
That's crazy. I wouldn't be able to do that.
All right, guys. So there you guys have it. Full album reaction for newest Fit for a King album, The Path. I'll see you guys on the next video. Y'all stay safe.
Later.